an infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Red Recover can maximize your efforts by potentially improving cellular metabolism, blood circulation, and muscle recovery. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane, Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Red Recover can maximize your efforts by potentially improving cellular metabolism, blood circulation, and muscle recovery. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
The Crypto Bro Show is solely for entertainment purposes. Orlando Alzugaray and his guests are not financial advisors or investments consultants. If you ever plan to invest, make sure you do your homework, talk to a professional, and understand investing is very risky and volatile. Good luck in any of your investments, and only invest what you're willing to lose.
Let's step into the world of cryptocurrency with a guy that loves to talk crypto in the world of blockchain technology.
It's time to talk crypto with my bro, the Big O, so turn it up and listen, dude.
It's the Crypto Bro Show with Orlando Alzugaray.
Yes. Good afternoon, boys and girls. It is time to rock and roll with a new venture. You know, normally on our regular show that we have throughout the week, I always sprinkle in a little crypto talk, and I promised you that today we would start adding a crypto show today. So today we are going all in, and the Crypto Bro Show is on the air. So the idea is, you know, listen, this is my third year into crypto. I try to do a lot of research and try to find out as much as I can, as much as anybody could find out about when they're into real estate or into stocks or into crypto. Obviously, as the disclaimer says, investing in anything is risky. It doesn't matter what you do. Make sure you do your own homework. Obviously, I am not a financial advisor. Okay. I don't work for a financial firm or anything. I'm normally a sports talk show host, but I'm a guy that's really gotten into crypto. And, I know that less than 5% of the world actually, knows about crypto. And one of the things that it's a it's an asset class that is still, on the rise, right? And it is way away from the stock market and those kind of things. Now we look at Bitcoin in itself, it has grown and it is probably in the top 20 of companies in the world. It's not a company, but if you compare its market share to companies all over the world, it's in the top 20 already. So it tells you where it's at and the kind of impact that it's making already individually on the Lightning Network, something that we'll talk about here on the show, where people are using it on a consistent basis to buy anything from a coffee to a sandwich to a car to a t-shirt, whatever it is that you want to buy. And so that's the thing about crypto. It is a new language, a new way of doing things, a new understanding. And it's the same thing that when we started with checks, when we went from IOUs and, gold to the dollar bill to then we go to credit cards and, all of these things that we had to get used to and adjusted to. And that's kind of what it is for a lot of people in the world right now. It's shell shock because it's something that they don't understand. Hell, I didn't understand it a few years ago. And now, it's growing to the point that it is going to take over. And banks and certain governments and all that, they want to try to keep you down and away from it, but they can't control it because it's decentralized. So it's not something that they can actually manipulate like they do with the dollar. And we're going to show you the value of the dollar, the value of crypto and Bitcoin. So for a lot of people that don't really understand what crypto is, we're going to kind of explain it for you today. We're gonna compare things for you and show you the difference so you can kind of understand. And then I'll talk about some coins. And one of the things that I want you to understand, all right, I am not a genius. I'm not some guru or anything like that. And I don't know every coin that's out there because there's thousands and there's a lot of bad ones. And so you really got to try to understand what's going on. I'm going to show you, things to look for when you are doing your homework, when you are deciding, hey, should I invest in Bitcoin? Should I buy into Decentraland? Should I buy into Polygon or XRP or, Mina or whatever? I mean, all kinds of different companies that are out there. And we'll talk about some of the characteristics that you want to look for when you're deciding where you want to invest. And here's the other thing, because, as I've kind of prepared to do this show, I've actually held back for a while now. And why? Because I've also wanted to see what other people are doing and how they conduct their show. And one of the things that I always used to see with some different, YouTube influencers that do crypto shows is some of them have had already success and they talk about it and they attack the market with the kind of success that they've had. Not everybody's like that. And so one of the things that I do want to do on this show, okay, because I repeat words there, I want to make sure that you understand that we're all different. And so one person might be able to spend $5 a week. Another person might be able to spend 50, and another person might be able to spend $500 a week. Disposable income, it all depends on you. And so one of the things that when you're going to get into investing, whether you're going to buy a property, you're going to buy a vehicle that you're going to try to turn around, a baseball card, a basketball card, a football card, crypto, stocks, you got to have an understanding of what you're buying, right? You don't necessarily want to buy a Jose Canseco card because that's not really going to go up if you do your homework. You get what I'm saying? Now, maybe an Ohtani card might just go up and up and up in value, right? And because of the international demand with a Ohtani, well, then you see what I'm saying? It's a matter of also looking into what investment you're making. And then you decide what is best for you. Now, one of the characteristics about this show will be long-term investing. I am not rich. I don't possess hundreds of thousands and millions in the bank. And, like right now, this is a great example of what's going on. Those of us that bought the dip with Bitcoin, right? We got it as low as 16.5. I know I did. I got a lot at 16.5 and 17 and 18. I tried to load up as much as possible, right? Well, it's at 23 now. So think about the rich person, not me, okay? Those of us that invested $100 or 500 or 1,000 or 5,000, that's nothing. You know, from 17 to 23, sure, you're making money, but it's not, I'm not ready to sell now. I'm going to wait till it really climbs before I start selling. But if you put $1 million at 16.5 and it goes up to 23, yeah, you may want to cash out. You understand? And so I am not going to tell you and talk to you about all of these kind of investments in a short-term manner. I'm not here to short the market either, because that's risky stuff. And really, I'm not going to get into that kind of stuff because that's not really what I do. I don't have the power to do that. And quite frankly, I root for all those people that try to short the crypto market and Bitcoin. I hope they're all broke. I hope that like a lot of people that have been losing their asses here the last month here, going and shorting Bitcoin, and I hope they continue to do it and keep losing money, because I know where Bitcoin's going to go. So, but I'm glad that those people are suffering and doing stupid things. But I don't look at things like that. I look at it as long-term investments. So this will not be a pump and dump show. I've seen people talk about, like, example. Somebody was talking about ApeCoin yesterday, and they were talking about ApeCoin and how, this is the moment where you want to buy into ApeCoin, and then this is the moment where you want to get out, and he was talking about a couple of dollars. And I get it, but that's for people that have a lot of money. Okay. If I had a lot of money, I probably could make a lot of money, doing this. Actually, I really feel like I would be able to. But example, and this is where the run that we've had now becomes dangerous for the new investor. And these are things that when I got in 2 years ago, nobody explained to me. And, I made my mistakes early on, and I want you to avoid your mistakes. So some guy was talking about, last night, where it was ApeCoin was around $6.30, right? And he was talking about getting in now, and he's talking about the point where you get out, at $8 or something like that. And so I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it, and I'm kind of laughing at that. Do you know why I'm laughing at that? Because the last time I bought ApeCoin, I bought it at $3.02. I bought it on November 16th at $3.02. It's at 6.30 right now. I've doubled my money already. I'm not selling because I'm holding long term. But see, that's the problem with all of this. You have to understand where you're at right now. So if you're trying to FOMO in now, you have to understand that it has gone up a bunch now at the moment. And it's going to continue to climb, but nobody really, and here's the other thing. If you ever watch anybody out there on CNBC or Fox or Reuters or whatever it is that you use for, your information purposes, or somebody on TV or YouTube or something like that, nobody knows when this is bottom and when this is top. Anybody that tells you that, they're lying, because nobody truly knows. And that's the thing. And so you have to be very patient throughout all of this process. There's going to be volatility. Why is there's volatility in the stock market, and it's been around forever, 100 years, right? And so Bitcoin's only been around for 14 years. So you've got to expect more volatility in an asset class that hasn't necessarily been around very long, and an asset class that 95% of the world has no idea what it's doing, what it brings to the table, how people are using it. And so that's the problem, because we have so much ignorance or uneducated folks about it. It creates that FUD, that fear, uncertainty, and doubt that we'll talk a lot about. And those of you that watch my daily show, and I would incorporate some crypto comments and all that, you notice throughout the last year, 14 months, 15 months, I've never ever been frustrated or down or anything like that, because I feel like I've done my homework and I understand where we're at in the market. Just like anybody that is investing in the stock market kind of understands that we're at the bottom. We were just talking about it a couple of weeks ago when Tesla was down at $109, $106. I was saying, wow, this is an amazing buy. And I'm not really that much into stocks, but I almost thought, my God, if it hits 100 or 99 or $95, I might start buying some myself. And now it's at 100 and whatever, 70 something dollars, and that's because you got to understand where you're at. You don't know exactly where the bottom is, but you got to kind of figure you're hitting close to bottom. So then that's when you start buying. You start buying when you feel that when there's real bad news all over the place and everybody's panicking, usually that's the best time to buy. But it's hard to do that because you're hearing people that obviously also don't know anything about investing, and they're saying, oh my God, this is going to zero, and this is this, and this is that, and this, and then it gets into your mind, and you start to question what you're doing. And that's why it's incredibly important, okay, to stay the course, do your homework. Please do your homework. Read up on what you're investing. What company is behind this? What kind of money do they have? How many coins are in circulation? The more coins, the worse it is, because it's harder to create value that way. The lesser the coins, the better. Polygon's got the EPPI 1551 or whatever it is. I might be getting a letter or a number, but it's a burning mechanism that they have where they are, making it deflationary. And so it's less and less and less coins. So then that's going to increase the value. It's kind of the opposite of what we do with the US dollar. We print more and more and more. So what do you think happens when you continue to print more and more and more? The dollar has less value. And that's kind of it's the opposite of Bitcoin. There's going to be 21 million and it's done. There's no more. There are not going to be any more. It's over. And 2, 3, 4 million of them are probably already lost. A lot of it early on, people didn't understand it. They lost it and lost their keys, lost their crypto, all that. And we'll get into that also, on the show. But there's a lot of ways of looking at this and understanding it. But you've got to have patience. You've got to do your homework. And you've got to believe in what you're doing, okay? If you don't, then you're going to lose a lot of money because you're going to get nervous. I have friends that, example, Decentraland is one we're going to talk about. And I'm a big fan of Decentraland. I have a lot of Decentraland. I have a nice bag of Decentraland that I like. I think it's going to be one hell of I think it's already a really good company, but it's going to grow immensely. And in its bull run the last time around, it got to, I believe, over $5. Okay. And right, let me pull it up here. Let me show you a second. Here it is. Okay, so I am going to go back and I'm going to look at the bull run, and it was at $5.24. Okay. And it was at $5.24, let's say November 25th of 2021. It is now 71 cents. Okay. Now I have a friend of mine that bought it in the 90-cent range. And when it went up to like $1.30, $1.40, he sold it. Okay. And he made a little money, but then it went up to $5. And so I told him, you have to have patience with all of this. Right. And so now he bought it again when it came back down again after it went to $5 and the bull run happened. And then we had the market crash, everything from Apple and Amazon and Tesla and coins and everything crashed. And everything has gone down 50, 70, 80%, right? A lot of things. I mean, Tesla was down close to like 75%, 80%. So all these things went down. So this was your opportunity to get back into Tesla. This was your opportunity to get back into Mana, Decentraland. And so just to like kind of, I loaded up on Decentraland when it was in the 35, 40 cent range. On the, let me see where it's at here. Let me go back. Let me get the latest dip where it was 29, 30, 31. This was all, okay, January 6th of 2023. This thing was at 32 cents, 31 cents. It was at 29 cents January 1st of 23. That is literally 27 days ago. It was there. So I loaded up in the 30 and the 40 cent range. Well, guess where it's at now? It's at 71. So I've already doubled my money in that investment. Now I got to hold on because I told you the last time the bull run went to 5. But it's all about patience and knowing when to get out, right? Nobody knows when the top is. Nobody knows when the bottom is. And sure, I can get out now and double my money, but I can make more money. And I know where it's going because I'll tell you why. And we'll get into Decentraland in a minute. I'm going to use it as one of our examples. Now, let's get into a little bit. Give me a couple minutes here where I'm going to kind of, it might be a little boring, but it will be something that will be incredibly educational. And so now let me show you the value of the dollar. Okay. And wait a minute. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. Now, so here's the value of the dollar. Okay. Back in 1972. Okay. Look where it's at now in 2022. All right. If the dollar in 1972, the same item would cost you $6.99 in 2022. The dollar on average goes down 6 to 8% every year of value. You buy less and less and less with the dollar. It's what people don't understand. You can save your money in the bank. You're getting shitty interest, but look at the value of the dollar, how it's gone down. So you've lost 86% of the value of the dollar in the last 50 years. I mean, it's ridiculous. And so all they do is print more money, and they, one side wants to eliminate the debt ceiling. The other side now wants to add a 30% tax, all of these kind of things that are just absolutely crazy. So I show you what the dollar and the decline of the money you're using. Products are going up in value, but your dollar isn't. Okay, so now let's go to Bitcoin. All right. And here's the all-time. I'm going to show you the same thing. I'm going to go all-time now. I went to 1970 with the dollar. Well, Bitcoin hasn't been around since 1970. It's been around for 14 years. So let's say you invested $1 back in November 10th of 2015 when the price was $330. Okay. Volume 107 million at that time. So now you're at 23,000. How much would your dollar be worth now? See what I'm saying? So your dollar would be worth a hell of a lot more now if you bought Bitcoin at $300 and it's at 23,000. So your dollar is growing on Bitcoin. Yeah, I know some of you are going to go, well, it was 67,000. Yeah, it peaked to 67,000, but it came back down, and now it's leveled off. And people said, well, Bitcoin hasn't been through war. Well, yeah, it has now. Actually, multiple wars, because there was a war back in the day too. And it hasn't been through, a crisis like what we're in now. Well, yeah, it has, and it survived. It survived, and it's getting stronger and stronger every single day. So eventually there's going to be volatility. Remember what I just talked about when I opened the show. There's going to be volatility because it's a new asset class. It's something that is growing, and it's being adopted all over the world, and we'll show you that too here on the show today. But I just want to show you how the value of Bitcoin, whatever anybody tells you, it's going up. And it's money. Anybody that tells you it's not money, you'll see it. You can convert it easily to money in seconds. So it's not really difficult. It's something that you just got to get used to. But it is money, and it is growing. And because there's only a finite amount of it, the entire world, when they figure this out, the digital gold will explode. And it's already exploded. There's no asset class that went from $0 to $23,000. None. Nada. Nay. Tesla was up at a couple $100, down to $106, up under 200, not 23,000. That's the part that people seem to not understand. So while you see your dollar shrinking, products going up in prices, you're buying less with your dollar, saving your dollar pays no sense. I mean, it's just, there is no sense in any of that. It just doesn't make any sense. And this is something that you should look yourself and understand what's going on, with Bitcoin and, cryptocurrency in its overall. Now, I'll show you the hidden dollar debt growth. Okay. These are the banks around the world that they all have this incestuous relationship with each other, that they loan money to one bank, and then they use that money that they loan to another bank, and then everybody is paying everybody else off. And what you're seeing there, the hidden debt, which is at $65 trillion. Okay, now this is what it is. It's when one party borrows a currency while lending to another. These must be exchanged back at a future date in a swap contract. These contracts are considered a form of debt. Often the debt is not recorded on balance sheets due to banks' accounting rules. So if you start to look at what's going on there, from the non-U.S. bank estimated off-balance sheet to the off-balance sheet debt that you see all throughout, you've got $65 trillion. That's a credit card that the rest of us have to pay. And one way or another, this whole financial institution is just going to crumble. And that's why, when people talk about, oh, it's a Ponzi scheme. No, dude, what's a real Ponzi scheme is what's going on in our banking industry. It's what's going on. You're going to be able to send Bitcoin, you're going to be able to send money, Bitcoin. You have a relative in Venezuela or in Poland or anywhere else in the world. I don't care. Bermuda, Canada, you name it. And you're going to get on your phone and you're going to send them $50, $5,000, $500 million within a second. Try to do that with bank wires. You're going to have to pay the bank here, the wire service, and then it goes to an international bank because they're all, as I'm showing you, they're all living together. And then you're going to get a fee there, and then it goes to the bank to wherever you're going, Venezuela, Bermuda, whatever it is, and you're getting charged, and it takes a couple of days. This is seconds. And this is you carrying your own money, not it being stored in a bank. And really, if you think about it, they don't have your money. What they'll do is just keep printing more and devaluing the dollar in the process. And these are the things that people just don't understand. And so here we go. Let's go with the surplus and deficit. Okay. The GDP per president. And I'm not going to go to Franklin D. Roosevelt and all that kind of crap, but let's just start out with Reagan. And so what this is what you end up spending compared to the taxes that you bring in. And with Reagan, you see it was at minus 5.9, 4, 5.3. 2.7 in his last year with George Bush. Kind of stayed the same in the same area. Clinton was actually the best when it came to managing the money, better than almost all the other presidents. Deficit still went up, but not nearly as much with Clinton. But you see it 2.2, 1.4, all of that, right? And then you see George Bush, it got worse. 3, 3, 4, 2, 5, 1, 8, 3, 5, 9, 8 the final year. Then Barack Obama was a disaster. 8.7, 8.4, 6.7. So it gets even worse what you're bringing in. Donald Trump, 3.8, 4.6, 14.5, 16.7. I don't know if you guys know this, but the country has been collecting debt for 200 years. In the 4 years of Donald Trump, he equaled 25% of the debt that's been accumulated. And by the way, Joseph Biden getting just as bad, 7.8 the first year. Now, Trump had to also deal with the pandemic too, but 5.6, and it tails off a little better, but still a disaster. Because, of course, you saw the $1.7 trillion deal. None of these guys work for us. Not Trump, not Biden, not Obama, not Bush. None of these guys work for us. They work for their own interests. That's why that $1.7 trillion mistake was passed, and the Republicans could have stopped it, but they cut their own deals, and this is what happens. And they're playing with our money. And that's why the Republicans are coming at you with, well, let's go with, a 30% tax, sales tax. Like, really? Is that what you want to do? Like, you know how crippling that'll be for a lot of people? 30%. I mean, I didn't mind a general sales tax like that to wipe out, the regular taxes that you do, but 30%? Are you out of your mind? So none of these plans ever work. Not the Dems, not the reps. I don't care about either side, by the way. If you've watched my show, I don't care about either side. I trash both. They're garbage. They don't care about any of us. Okay? I don't care what you think about one side or the other. To me, they're both disasters. And this is why I say Americans and people worldwide, look out for yourself. Canada shut down banks. Russia shut down banks. China shut down banks. It's happened all in the last year where people couldn't get access to their money. And so when it comes to crypto, we've had exchanges go down like FTX. We've had DeFis like 3 Arrow go down, Celsius, and people held their coins there. Do not do that, folks. Okay? If you're going to decide to get into crypto, to build your financial worth, to have the financial freedom to, unhinge yourself from this mess that we've got going on. Okay? When you do this, okay, you get a cold storage wallet. And I'll give you, I don't have a sponsor for it, okay? And I use Trezor, but Nano is fantastic. There's KeepKey, there's EliPal, there's the Ledger Nano S. There's all kinds of cold storage wallets. I would suggest you get one. And then whether you have an account or multiple accounts like I do, Binance or Kraken or Crypto.com or OKCoin or Coinbase, this makes sure that when you buy something on an exchange, it has a bridge so you can move it to your cold storage wallet. You buy and move to your cold storage wallet. You do not store anything on a third-party website that, could go down because they're not using their funds the right way. It's like banking firms that have gone, banks have gone down. Hundreds and hundreds of banks have failed over the years. There's no difference in what's gone on in crypto has gone on in the banking world. Investment firms from Enron and everything else, they've all, same thing. People, you cannot trust people with your money. Okay? You just saw Usain Bolt got ripped off, $12 million. But if he had his own cold storage wallet and he had his own Bitcoin there, nobody would ever touch it because nobody can touch it. They got to have your 12 words in order to touch it. And make sure when you do get a cold storage wallet, there are 12 key words. Do not put them on your phone. Do not put them on a computer where they can get hacked and somebody can get your 12 words. You put it on a paper, Preferably, they've got these steel things that you can buy that you can actually put it in there and it's fireproof and everything, and put it in a safe, put it in a whatever, but put it somewhere where it's locked and nobody can get to it. Okay. Or better yet, also try to remember the 12 words too. But do not save it anywhere digitally, because then it could be hacked on your computer, your phone, or whatever, and then they can have access to your 12 words. And the beauty of having a cold storage wallet is that you can take it anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter. All you need is your 12 words. You pop it up, boom, and there it is. And nobody can touch it at all. Not the government, not anybody can ever touch it. And you control it all. Okay? These are things that you got to learn, because if not, then you will pay the price. Do not keep your coins on Coinbase. Okay. I know Coinbase has a cold storage wallet. I believe if they give you the 12 words, then you're fine. Okay. But I would suggest, instead of doing it on Coinbase, I would rather do it with a Nano. I'd rather do it with a Trezor Model T. I'd rather just do it with one of those kinds instead of still putting my faith in a company. Okay. It's just the way it is. That's kind of what this is all about. This is to free you from all of this stuff and give you control of your financial destination. What people don't understand is that down the line, you're going to be able to use your Bitcoin and make money off of it. You can make your money work for you. You put your money in the bank, right? You got $50,000 in the bank, let's just say. Guess what the bank is doing with your money? They're loaning it out to other people at high interest rates, and they're reaping in all the interest. Are they giving it to you? No, they're not. They're not giving you shit, but you're putting it in the savings account so you can get what? 0.5%, 1/3%? Oh, that's really productive. You're going to be able to actually loan out your own money, and you get the interest. These are things that people just don't understand. You're going to be able, if you need a loan, let's say you have 5, 10, 50, 100,000, $150,000 of Bitcoin. You're going to be able to get a loan out against your own Bitcoin for like 2%. Try to do that at the bank. Oh, by the way, no questions asked. You don't have to walk in and worry about the color of your skin, the sexual orientation, how much money you have or not. No, man, you get to build your own value in this world, instead of being at their disposal, at whatever they decide, whether they want to give you the money or not, or whether they want to allow you into their institution or not, while they're ripping your ass off with bank fees and checking fees and shitty interest, and they're using all your money to make more money, and they're not sharing anything with you. And that's what you're going to learn in cryptocurrency, that you're going to be able to make money and use your money to create more money and make yourself, obviously, self-efficient. And these are the things that are going to change. And then, as I tell you, it all works out. It's all about homework, right? All right. We talked about the general stuff, the kind of boring stuff. Let's get into some of the coins. Polygon. I'm a big Polygon guy. Okay. Why do I like Polygon? Well, it's a layer 2 chain that is on Ethereum. Right now, they're actually pumping out more transactions than Ethereum. Ethereum can only do a certain amount of transactions per second, where Polygon is, at the thousands. But look at their partnerships. DraftKings, okay? Reddit, Walt Disney Company, Adidas, the National Football League, Starbucks, Adobe, Meta. You see what I'm saying? And this is part of investing, is figuring out what companies, what usage do they have? How do they help us out in the real world? Like Doge does nothing. It has no use case whatsoever. It's just hope to be used as currency. That's it. But if you look at a meme coin like SHIB, at least, It's building a metaverse. It's building a blockchain. It has NFTs, and so now it has value and it can grow. It's on the Ethereum blockchain. It's built on the blockchain of Ethereum, and it has so much more room to grow. Actually, so I'm not big on meme coins. I do have a little bit of SHIB, I will say, but you got to be careful with those meme coins because they don't have a lot of usage. You got to make sure they have some usage. Well, you see Polygon, and this is just a few of the companies. They're tied to a whole bunch of other things, but they are monsters. And by the way, they've been exploding as of late. Polygon right now, and I'll tell you right now where it's at. Polygon is down 4% right now. No, down 3%. It's down to $1.14. But do you know where this coin was? This coin was on December 30th. It was at 76 cents. That's why I'm telling you that while you're watching this run start, you're a little late on the run. So be careful on what you purchase. And then you also have to understand, are you rich? Then maybe you're a pump and dumper and you have the kind of money that you can make big money on the short term. But if you're not and you're working stiff like I am, then you're looking at things on the long term. Now, I want to tell you, Polygon, okay, where it's at now, but it did peak at $2.83. It was December 27th of 2021. It was at $2.83. It went down all the way and it reached 45 cents on June 22nd of 2022. And now it has climbed up to $1.14. So this is part of those of you that watch me on the video and I say buy the dip. Now you understand what I've been doing is buying the dip on the coins that I like. And now I'm way up on a lot of the coins, but I'm not ready to, make my money. Now, one of the things that I like to do, again, I am not a financial advisor. This is just a show for information and entertainment. And hopefully you will learn something along the way. And at the same time, you will create your own path. And then as you go to try to decipher what coins you like, what companies you want to invest in, then you'll figure out. But you've got to follow this, and you've got to follow it all the time. And then you've got to understand, are you a short-termer or a long-termer? For me, everything is long-term, okay? A lot of this stuff I'm probably looking to unload in 2024, 2025, to be quite honest. I think this year is going to be a very volatile year. I don't believe in all the rosiness that's going on right now, to be quite honest with you. I still think we still have inflation. It's going down, which is great. All the numbers are positive in the right direction, but we got right now still supply chain issues. We still have inflation issues. We still have a war going on. We're still in the back end of this damn pandemic, right? I mean, China now is, getting back to full strength, and hopefully that will help out, the economy too, because they produce so many goods that are so important to everything going on. But I just think there's going to be still volatility. So what I'm trying to tell you is that there might be a moment where Polygon goes back down again. And there might be a moment where Bitcoin goes down again. I could see Bitcoin going to 25, 30,000 in this run right now. But I could also see it coming back a little bit because I still think we're going to hit a couple of patches, a little bit of a recession. I still think that we're not out of the woods till the second half of the year in the back end. That's when I think we're going to be. So if you're going to invest, be ready to be a long-term investor and deal with the volatility. But you will have your opportunities to make money, as I've shown you right now with Polygon, as I showed you where the prices were. Another one that I love is Avalanche. Mana, I'm sorry. Remember we just talked about Decentraland and I told you where it was at and where it's at now. And, my buddy that sold and lost an opportunity to make a whole bunch of money. Now he's got back in because there was another dip and he got back in. That's why I'm trying to tell you, if there's another dip, that might be when you want to go in. You don't want to take things when they're going parabolic. Right now, all of this stuff is going parabolic. Decentraland, Mana, let me fill you in on it right now. Where is it? Here it is. So Decentraland right now, over the last month, is up 135%. I can't in my right mind tell you get into it right now because I'm not sure we're going parabolic on a bull run right now. That's why I tell you want to follow it. Okay. This was at 29 cents on January 1st. And now it's at 71 cents. So you had an opportunity when it was low, when we were talking about the dips and all that stuff, that you could have more than doubled your money if you bought it at 29 cents and sold it now at 71, even though I think it's going to go to several dollars. But it may not be going to several dollars right this year. It might be more towards the back end of 23 into 24, I think. That's where I think we're in the gold. But that's just me. Okay? I don't know if Putin's going to press some button. I have no idea if there's some craziness going on out there. You know what I'm saying? Those are things you can't plan for. You can't plan for the FTX collapse. You can't plan for Three Arrows Capital collapsing. You can't plan for Celsius stealing money from people. You can't plan for Gemini going down. These are things that affect the market. You can't plan for a war. You can't plan for a pandemic. You can't plan for supply chain issues. You can't plan for oil prices going up. All of these things affect everything. And don't kid yourselves. Right now, crypto is tied to the stock market. If the stock market climbs, which it's climbing now, then crypto is going to climb. Crypto is not going to detach itself from the stock market yet because it's too young of an asset class. So it needs liquidity. So when the feds print money, liquidity. When the GDP is now going down and inflation's going down, and then there's more jobs out there and there's more money out there, then what's going to happen? Stocks are going to go up, crypto's going to go up. All that gets affected. Liquidity is an incredibly important thing. So if the feds continue to tighten and raise the rates, and then everything becomes more expensive to buy, there's going to be less money available, less liquidity. So guess what happens? Stocks and especially risky assets will go down. And are really, the top ones that actually go with that. Okay, there we go. Close that damn thing. Anyway. Okay, so that's why it's very important, and you got to understand what you're investing in. So I'm a big Mana guy, Decentraland. Well, check it out. Look at that headline. Apple to launch their VR on Decentraland. So, and Mana has all kinds of metaverse games and all kinds of stuff, and gaming is going to be huge. The metaverse is going to be huge. AI is going to be enormous coming up. Gaming will never change. And so I'm a big Mana guy, and you have to, whatever coin you're going to invest in, okay? I don't care if it's Illuvium. I don't care if it's Kronos, now that they call it, BNB Smart Chain, whatever you want to invest in, okay? Make sure you find out what their partners are, what kind of money do they have, what's their market cap. And the market cap is very, very, very important. Let me explain something to you. Because if you buy something at 25 cents, let's say you buy a stock or a coin at 25 cents, and they have a market cap of $100 billion, in order for you to get to 50 cents, their market cap has to go to 200 billion. So you have to be very careful what you're investing in, because if it already has an incredibly high market cap, it cannot grow nearly as much. And maybe it's at a low price and it's at a high market cap because there's a lot of coins. But if there's less coins and the market cap's lower, then it has a chance to grow. So let's say Star Atlas is a company that I'm in, very risky. Okay. I think their metaverse game is freaking amazing. And they took a hit with FTX. They lost like $8, $9, $10 million. And they're a small market cap. I can show you here. Let me just put it in the search a second here. Star Atlas, okay? This is one, and it's at a third of a penny right now. Okay, so it's like an incredible value. But if you look at the market cap, here it is, $36 million. So it has so much room to grow into hundreds of millions, into billions. And as I'm going to show you now, okay, if you look at where's Decentraland? Mana. Where are you? There it is, Mana. Look at Mana's market cap. $1,300,000,000. Okay. Now, Decentraland can still grow because, again, look at, you start looking at the top ones. Binance is worth 15 billion, XRP 20 billion, USDC 43 billion, Tether 67 billion, Ethereum 192 billion, Bitcoin 443 billion. So you have room to grow. But that's kind of what you also want to look at, because you can only grow so much, and you have to be very careful on what you're investing in. Okay. So when you go with altcoins, please look at the market cap, please look at the circulation of the coins, and then start looking at the partnerships. So I showed you Polygon and their partnerships. I showed you why I like Mana. You can go look at all their partnerships, but Apple just teamed up with them. Another coin that I'm really big on is Avalanche. And Avalanche is on a monster run. They got on a monster run over the last week here, and over the last month they've been amazing. But I'll walk you through this right now. Avalanche is up almost 12% today. It's just under $21. But just to kind of put it, in perspective, okay? You could have gotten into it at $10.82 on January 1st of this year. 27 days ago, okay? You could have gotten at it at $10, and right now it's at $20.83. You've doubled your money. But I love Avalanche. Now, again, let me show you again, okay? Avalanche peaked at $143 on November 22nd. So I expect it to get back there and pass it eventually. And Avalanche, look who they teamed up with. Amma freaking Zon. These are all the biggest companies in the world. Why do you think they're going to blockchain? Why do you think they're using crypto? Because it's secure, because it's really fast, because it's also very protective of their goods, their brand. It's impossible practically to hack. And so these are the things. Bitcoin is unhackable, but there are bridges, and sometimes that happens. But overall, my God, it's way safer, faster, more efficient. And there's a reason why Apple and Avalanche and Amazon and all these companies are going to crypto. Disney, there's a reason why. These are not stupid companies. They're a lot smarter than you and I when it comes to investing, planning, and foresight. And these are the things that I kind of explain on my show all the time. I just don't get to do it like this now. I can't believe I've been talking for 50 minutes. Holy crap. Wow. But I just want you to protect yourself, okay? Again, I'm not a financial advisor, just a guy that likes crypto. And I feel like I kind of understand what's going on. And it's not an easy thing. And I get it. It's very intimidating, right? But you got to understand it. Now, I'll give you an example of something that I think is still, now it's a long ass term buy that I'm looking at 2025, probably closer to 2026. VeChain is the 37th coin in the world. It is worth 1.7 billion. Now, I feel, okay, you see in the last 24 hours, it's down 2%. It is up 8% in the last 7 days. But it's at $2. It's 2 cents right now. Now, this thing peaked at 22 cents. I think 24 cents maybe. If I let me see if I'm correct. I think it did that, but at 2 cents to me, it's still great value. To me, this is one where you got to sit on it for a while. Now I want you to go look at, the uh, Range Rover, Louis Vuitton, Walmart, just go, what's that chicken, Purdue chicken, just go look at the companies that are tied to VeChain. Okay, and then look at it, and then this is like a long-term play. I keep buying VeChain and stacking it. I first bought VeChain at 6, 7, and 8 cents 2 years ago. I've been holding it already for 2 years. Okay, but then it went down. So what am I going to do? I'm going to lower my overall cost. So I bought it all the way down. I bought it at 1.9, 1.8 cents or something like that, actually. And then I still keep buying it. I still throw a couple bucks every once in a while and buy more and more, because at 2 cents, you're getting a whole crap ton of shares. You know what I'm saying? You buy $20 and you're getting a ton of shares. You buy $100, you're getting, my God, a whole bunch of shares. And if you can do that every once in a while, you just stack it. And remember, invest what you can lose. Invest what you don't need to pay for your car, your food, your rent, your mortgage, your kids. Don't be an idiot. Okay? Don't be an idiot. Use your disposable income. Use the stuff. Look, you like going to the movies a whole bunch? Well, go to the movies a couple times less and invest instead. You like buying a whole bunch of shoes? Well, buy a couple less shoes and, invest or something like that. Manage yourself, but don't use ever the money you need to live over, this kind of stuff. Anything, stocks, I don't care what it is when it comes to investing. Don't do it. So I gave you Polygon, I gave you Mana, and I'm going to tell you these things because an Avalanche, and I tell you these things, and I'm going to talk a lot about a lot of the coins that I invest in. Okay, I know about some that I don't invest in, but I don't know all the coins. So if you're going to ask me about specific coins, I may know something about it. I may not know something about it. I'll be more than happy to tell you that I don't know, because I am not necessarily this, expert or something. Give me a couple more years and then I'll feel really, really good about it. But for now, I think I can do enough to help guide people and help them not make the same mistakes that I made. Overall, make sure you decide whatever you're investing in, have conviction. And if you believe in it, then stay with it. And you have to understand, when it comes to crypto, most of the people on television, on radio, or even on digital formats and platforms, most of them really don't understand crypto. So they can't really give you an educated, opinion about it. Like today, I think you've learned something about what it's all about. And then you've understood what's going on. Okay. As for this year, I still think we're going to have our ups and downs. I still think, I think Bitcoin can climb to 25, 30,000 this year easily, but I also think it could come back down. I don't know if it'll come back down to the teens again, but it might come down again to the 20s, overall. And look, I think Bitcoin eventually is going to go way past $100,000. It's going to go to a couple $100,000 when it's all said and done. Does it really matter if you bought it at 17 or at 25 or 30? I still think it's going to be a good long-term investment. If you bought it at 67,000, well, then you're frustrated. But what you don't do when you bought it at 67,000, if you don't have conviction, you don't sell it for a loss. You hold on, and then when it went down, you buy it at a cheaper price so you can lower that 67 price and that average down. That's what you're supposed to do. Here's the other thing I want you to do. As you buy your coins, make sure you're tracking the price that you bought it at, and keep your average, so you know your average for each purchase. So that way, when there are dips, is it under my average? Oh, good. Okay, I can lower my average. I'm buying it. You don't want to keep buying something over your average, except for maybe Bitcoin a little bit, because it's just going to, it's going to be the number one. It's going to be a payment source for the entire world, even though I'm never going to use it as a payment source. But I understand that, a lot of the world is going to use it as a payment source. And that's why. And listen, I'm glad, Brazil is going to make it their legal tender with the US dollar. Okay. You know, El Salvador is already doing it. Colombia is working on it. There's a whole bunch of countries that are working on it. Texas is now doing that. In fact, I let me give, not necessarily a Cancun cruise fan, but I got to give Cancun cruise a little love here. Well, let me give the Republicans a little love over the Democrats when it comes to crypto, whether it's Senator Warren or Cruz, at least we have some in government that actually understand crypto. And I know Ted has Bitcoin and so does Warren. So I get it. The Democrats are kind of way behind on this, actually. They don't really understand it, and that's really a problem. Again, it's Democrats or Republicans are here to bring us all down. Whether you like it or not, I don't care. But I'll give Cancun Cruz a little credit there. He wants to put machines and he wants all the vendors in the White House to be able to accept Bitcoin so people can learn how to use it quickly, and they'll find out like, wow, this is so super simple. Let's do it. Let's rock. And I think this is a really important way to educate people. If you start driving around town, wherever you live in the United States, because I've been around the country, you're starting to see Bitcoin machines. You're starting to see Bitcoin ATMs all over the place. It's only a matter of time. It's just intimidation. And a lot of you right now, that's what you have. You have a lot of intimidation about all of this because you don't know. Just like I was intimidated a couple of years ago before I got in it, I didn't really understand what the hell it was. And so I kind of heard about it for years and I, whatever, it's not. But I really saw the light now and I know where this is going. And again, what you think Amazon and Apple, you think all these companies are stupid? You think they're just going to start building, on those blockchains and start doing business there for no reason at all? No, because they know where everything is going. They're way ahead of us. That's kind of the way it goes. So I give Cruz, a lot of credit in that sense. And here's another one that I think is really interesting. POS giant Clover is going to team up with the Strike Network, and that's Bitcoin's Lightning Network. Okay. And Jack Mallers, who used to be part of Twitter, by the way, he got rid of Twitter and, I guess he did a good job, but he's always been a big Bitcoin guy. And so the Lightning Network is basically a way of payments. And so I'll read it for you here. Strike CEO Jack Mallers has taken to Twitter to announce that Strike is now integrated partner with payment giant Fiserv and parent company Clover. Subsequently, Strike has launched a pilot integration with Clover, allowing merchants to accept Bitcoin on the Lightning Network. Okay. And according to the announcement, the integration is not limited to Strike. Instead, merchants will be able to accept Lightning payments from any source, from Cash App to a node over Tor. If it can make a Lightning payment, you can use it, Mallers said. Mallers clarified that this rollout is part of a 90-day trial, which will involve measuring the speed and cost and facilitating transactions using the new integration. In addition to that, the amount of business that is integrating Lightning brings to merchants will be closely monitored. And this is huge. This is thousands and thousands and thousands of merchants all over. And this is kind of part of where it's going to go. But, merchants have to learn how to use it. Customers have to learn how to use it. That's just kind of the way it goes. At first, using your phone to make a payment with Apple Pay, that was so like, wow, what am I doing here? And I got to use my face, this, that, right? And it's everything. There's an adjustment to it. Now people, they know how to pay with their phones. A lot of people, maybe older people don't. And I get it. And that's usually the last people that kind of adjust, or maybe they don't even adjust to the whole thing. But that's just part of the growth pattern of all of this. And I get it because we're in the infancy stages. But what's very, very important is that you do your own homework and that only you know exactly what you can invest in. Only you know what you can afford. And it's so important to be able to invest what you can afford. Because if not, you're going to get yourself in trouble. One of the things, again, not a financial advisor, just a guy that loves crypto. Take profits along the way, folks. One of the things that I like to do is if I'm up 30%, I take 10. It's kind of what I do. And you saw where some of these things that I've given you have doubled. It's a lot of percentages, right? Well, then I'm going to take a little profit along the way. And you're not in this for, not, by the way, not Bitcoin. I don't do that with Bitcoin. I will never sell my Bitcoin, no matter what. Doesn't matter. Okay. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. All right. That I'm giving to my daughter. That's kind of the idea. I'm selling everything else. My Ethereum, you name it, my Cardano, it's Avalanche, most everything else I'm going to sell when, it's building profit for me. I'm selling. Do not be afraid to take profit. And as I told you, again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a psychic or anything like that. I don't think we're going pure parabolic. I think that's impossible. I still think we have some fuzzy business to get through here this year before we kind of level off. So I think there's going to be volatility and I think there's going to be drops, before we kind of get out of everything. So I've got to be careful in all of this. And if I think there's going to be drops and I'm up 30 or 50% on something, then I'm going to take a little bit of profit. Okay. And, set it aside or, pay some bills or whatever it is. But do not be afraid to take profits along the way. And my style is every 30% that it goes, I take 10. That's what I do. Okay. Now, for me, again, we're all in different. If you're new to this, you're not where I'm at. Okay. Because I've been at it now for 2 years and I got in it when it started to explode. And so I bought some stuff that was a little too high, but then I've been part of the entire crash. And to me, the crash was a blessing. Where people looked at it as a curse, I looked at it as a blessing because it was an accumulation period. And this is why I was able to get Polygon super cheap, or Avalanche super cheap, or Cardano, which I still believe Cardano that went over $2. It's like at 38 cents right now. I think it's super. When I first got into Cardano two years ago, 90 cents. That's where my Cardano was at, between 90 cents and $1. So imagine what I've done now since it's gone way down. I've loaded up in the 30 cent area like crazy. Why? Because I got to bring my 90 to $1 average. Let's say it was at 95 cents. I need to bring that thing down. And now I've brought it all the way down. Remember what I told you? Track the value of everything that you buy so you know exactly the average price that you have paid for the coin. Okay? Because you're going to buy it along the way. A company that I absolutely love and is Cosmos. And here you go. There's I'm wearing a Cosmos shirt today with my Ethereum hat and making the bull run. But anyway, so I'm a big Cosmos guy. And on Exodus, I have Exodus and Trezor. On Exodus, I get 22% for staking Cosmos. And I got a lot of Cosmos at $9 and $10. And right now it's at right now Cosmos is at, it's up 0.5%, 13.18. So I'm up a little bit, right? $9, $10 up to 13. Plus I'm staking it at 22%. My Cardano, okay, I got it at 90 to 100, but now I've loaded up in the 30% area and I've brought my average all the way down, but I'm also gaining 4.91%. And just an example, I use Exodus, which is kind of a warm wallet. They give you 12 words too, so your money's safe, but you can join it with your Trezor, Trezor Model T. And that's your cold storage. So you can have it in cold storage while you're still staking it. So my VeChain, I'm getting just under 1%. For Cosmos, I'm getting 22%. For Cardano, I'm getting 4.91%. For Algorand, I'm getting like almost 8%. So so I'm making money along the way, along with that, while I'm waiting for it to make the climb. I'm waiting and I'm gaining interest too at the same time. And what am I doing as I'm gaining interest and getting more Cosmos, more Avalanche, more VeChain off interest? I'm lowering my overall price because I'm getting free Cosmos and free Avalanche and free VeChain. So it's lowering my overall price again. Not only did I buy it at a low price, but now the interest is coming in. So I'm getting more Cosmos and I'm getting more Avalanche and not Avalanche, Cardano. And so I'm making extra money there at the same time. So when it does go parabolic, I'm going to have more coins for it, like it already has, like it's already moving in that direction. Now, again, Avalanche, just an example, because I just used it and I told you that, you got around 10 and now it's up to, or Cosmos, I'm sorry, that I got around 9 or 10 and now it's up to 13. Let me explain to you where it peaked. Okay. Let's see. It peaked at $44. Cosmos. And I think Cosmos is going to even go higher than that. That's my opinion. Not a financial advisor, but if you look at the ecosystem of Cosmos and all the companies that are tied to it, I just think it's an incredible company. And let me explain something also that I've done it on my show before. And let me explain what blockchain technology is, what crypto is. It's the new internet. It's a safer internet. It's a faster internet. It's an internet that protects the goods of the companies. And so on top of all of that, it is way more efficient than the regular internet. Cannot be hacked the way the regular internet is hacked and all that kind of stuff. But what it is, and the best way to explain it is Cosmos is one city, Cardano's another city, Bitcoin's another city, Ethereum's another city, and and so on and so forth. And they're all their own cities, and then they all have highways that are connecting to each other. And then when you're on the internet and you're putting in whatever company that you're going to go to, and it might be more .io than .com in the future, then it's going to look like the internet because you're not going to know anything different. But inside, it's going to be a completely different system that you're going to be a part of. And so that's kind of what's being built now. All these cities are being built and they all have their companies. And so you might get your dry cleaning and it might be at Cosmos. And then you might buy a car and it could be at Ethereum. And then you're using, the Lightning Network from Bitcoin to pay for everything. And maybe you're paying your electric bill and it's going to be on Avalanche or whatever. That's just kind of the way it's going to be. And so they're in the middle of building this entire financial structure and internet and then blending it and connecting it all together. And then that's why we're kind of in the infancy stages of all of this, because it's not done yet. I don't even know if it ever will be finished because they can just keep adding. But that's kind of what you're looking at, basically. That's what crypto is. That's what people don't understand. It's the upgraded internet, basically, is what you're dealing with. For the average person, if you want to look at it that way, it's the upgraded internet. And your lives will be a huge part of it. All right, let's see what we got here. Yes, this is a crypto show. Yes, not the Big O show. Although it is the Big O show doing a crypto show. Let's see. What do you mean by 16 and 5? I don't know what that means. Sounds like there's I don't care about that right now. Big O, what's some sources besides, of course, are good resources to learn crypto? Books, YouTube. George, Cryptos Are Us. He does a really good job. Cryptos, the letter R, Us. You can find it. He's an Asian guy. There's a young lady by the name of Crypto Casey. I think she's very responsible, like George. You're going to find a lot of these YouTubers, they're trying to be sensationalist and not necessarily level-headed. I'm not a a technical guy, but if you want a technical guy, Benjamin Cohen. He's probably the best when it comes to the technical aspects of it. I don't necessarily follow technical aspects. I'll look at it, but I just think that the world affects everything that's going on, because the technical stuff doesn't tell you anything about a war, or doesn't tell you about Sam Bankman-Fried stealing money from people and caving in FTX and and Three Arrows Capital and Celsius and everything, and supply chain and a pandemic and all that stuff that it just doesn't come in technical analysis. So for me, that's how I look at the world. I don't necessarily look at technical analysis. I look at what's going on in the stock market, what's going on in the world news-wise, what's moving, what's not, what problems do we have, supply chain issues, what's going on with eggs, whatever, all of these kind of things. To me, that's how I look at it. And then the other thing, as I told you guys, this is a macro approach show. I'm not in a micro. I'm not going to tell you, hey, get this here at $1 because it's going to go up to $2 and you can then dump it. I'm not doing that. That's not who I am. I'm not rich. I don't have that kind of money to throw around. I have to study hard. I have to make sure I like what I like. And then I have to invest in it long term. So it pays off in the long term with patience, because it grows. I can't, like a rich guy can do what I did with Avalanche and get it at get it at $10. And then at 20, the rich guy puts $1 million and buys Avalanche at $10. Goes to 20, he's got 2 million, he gets out. God bless him. He can do that kind of stuff. I can't. Investing $200 in Avalanche to make it $400. What am I doing with that? I'm paying a car bill? Okay, what else do I have? Yeah, I'm not doing that. So I've got to wait till it gets to past the $40 mark where it was, because I know it's going to grow past that, but I got to wait to 2024, probably 2025 for a lot of these. And so this is a long-term show. That's the way I am going to look at it. That's the way I'm going to view it. So just in case. And as Kyle would say, DCA, baby. DCA is everything. Dollar cost average is what he means. And as you buy all the way down, because you don't know when the bottom is, because I had a buddy of mine that did not buy at 16.5. And he goes, no, it's going to go down to 10 or 12. I'm going to wait. Now it's at 23. And I said, hey, bro, oh, yeah, I didn't get it. How do you really know what the bottom is? You don't. So what you do is you pace yourself and you try to save a little money, and then you keep trying to buy even more as it goes down. So you're constantly lowering your price. DCA will always be the way to go. Guaranteed. Kyle is right. What else do we have here? Beer Whiteboard Crypto on YouTube I found helpful. Well, I don't know, but I can tell you those kind of those folks there, they do a good job. And then I would tell you to go, read up some websites. Well, here you had some here on the, where was it? Let's see. Yeah, blockchain.com is one that I use. ambcrypto.com is another one that I use. You can find that there. Let me see. Let me give you a couple of other ones that I like. What else do we have here? beincrypto.com. That's another one. How it sounds. BEIN crypto.com. That's another one that I read. There's also crypto-news-flash.com. You can use that. By the way, Cryptos Are Us also, he has a website, which is cryptos, the letter R and us.com. George has his own website that also grabs a lot of the big articles around too. So those are a couple of people that I would do in a couple websites. But please go into, Coin Market Cap, coinmarketcap.com, and then look into each coin that you want to invest in. Find out the market cap, find out the circulating supply, all of those kind of things. Know exactly, what you're investing in. Do not ever invest in something that you just don't understand. That's not going to help you. And don't go off of what somebody else says either. Even me. You know what I'm saying? Do your own homework. That to me is one of the most important things out there. Let's see what else. Values. I think Bitcoin is a value. Like I told you, I think VeChain is still a value. I think Cardano is a value. I think Cosmos right now is still a value if you can buy it and stake it like I do on Exodus or somewhere else for 22%. Buying it at $10 or $13, man, once we get to $16, $17, $18, then it starts getting crazy. But at $10 or $13 and I'm still getting 22% return, I'm going to load up so I can get some extra Cosmos down the line, because eventually they're going to lower that interest rate. So that's something that you got to look at. What else do we have here? Told you about liquidity. Still think I told you that we could have volatility this year. There's no way. And, the other thing, like I said before, do not be investing in things that are parabolic. You're already late. Have the patience. And if you buy something parabolic, then you better stay with it and don't panic, because there's always going to be consolidation. Look at Bitcoin. It was at 16.5 and went up to I think it was 19, hung in there for a little bit. Then it went up to 21 and hung in there for a little bit. Now it's been at 23 for like a week now, which the consolidation is freaking fantastic. What you don't want is pure parabolic and it goes to like 45,000, because you know what's going to happen? It's going to come back down. And why? Because there are rich people, not you and me, but there are people that bought 10 million Bitcoin at 19,000. And then it goes to 29. What do you think they're going to do with $10 million? They're going to sell, man, because they made a whole bunch of money. So then that will make it, volatile, because you will have whales that will be playing the whale games, as they say. And that's just kind of part of the game. But be patient. Do your homework. All of these things are incredibly important in crypto. Okay? That's and again, like I told you, disposable income. The money that you don't need to live. The money you need for your gas, you don't use that. For your food, for your kids, you don't use that. For your rent, your mortgage, your car payment, you don't use that. You use money you can literally burn on fire. That's kind of what you got to feel like. Not that you're going to lose it, but you got to be ready for that. So you got to look at it that way. If you don't, then don't get into stocks or real estate or crypto or anything like that, because everything is volatile. Crypto's a little bit more volatile than others because it's a very young asset class. But it is the future of the world, not just, the United States. All right, let me see. Anything else there? Doesn't look like we got any other questions. If you got any questions, you can send them in. Remember, you can always make a donation through Cash App or Venmo. Remember, you can make a Bitcoin donation. That would be actually pretty cool on this show, to make a Bitcoin donation like many have already, but nothing there at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Ocean Dragon, I love Cardano. It's a long-term play, but I think I think they're building things the right way. Their DeFi is growing. Their their applications, the companies building on Cardano is growing. They're about to unleash their stable coin DJED with Cody. So there's a lot of things in the work. I just think it's one of those you've got to be patient. And to me, Cardano's a 2025 play. Okay. I think a lot of them are maybe late this year, but probably more 2024. A lot of the things I'm investing in. Cardano VeChain, I'm kind of looking at 2025 for those. Those are kind of really long-term plays, I think. So what I do is I just continue to DCA and I keep buying Cardano because it's the cheapest that I've bought it at. And I just keep stashing it and staking it at the same time, kind of like VeChain. VeChain too. VeChain has not moved much. It's gone down. In fact, it's gone up now. It's gone up a few percent in the last month. It has moved a little bit, but not moved enough that it's not value. It's in the 2 cent range. So I love it. So yeah, I'm a big Cardano guy. Yes. Let's see, what else do we have? Any other? I don't think there's any other questions. So nope, that's it. And no, I'm not during this show. There's no sports. Okay, don't care about sports during this show. It's not about any of that. This is all dedicated solely to crypto. By the way, Arizona is also another state looking to make Bitcoin legal tender. One of the things that I will give credit to states like Arizona, Texas, and Florida are the ones that are a little bit more Bitcoin friendly. And they're, whether it's mining, all of that kind of stuff, like I said, as a crypto guy, the one thing I will say, I'll give the Republicans a slight edge there. More Republicans understand it than Democrats. So, you're watching in certain states where it's growing, and that's because certain people actually have taken the time to understand it. And, this is what's going to give you some financial freedom that you've never had because of the banking institution and the government laws all over the world that have a stranglehold on us. So look into it. That's it. I think we are done. I think it's not a bad first start, is what I would like to say. Oh, by the way, one more thing I forgot to tell you. If you buy a cold storage wallet, a Ledger Nano S, a Trezor, Elipal, a Keep Key, whatever it is, okay, do not buy it from a third party. Do not buy it at a store. Do not buy it on Amazon. Do not buy it from a friend. Do not buy it from a cousin. Do not buy it on the street. You go directly to the Trezor website. They're overseas, I think, if I'm correct. I forgot what country they're in. Nano, Ledger Nano, Elipal, you go to their specific sites and you buy it directly from them. Do not buy it from a third party. Like I told you, there are, they could get into that thing and then repackage it and all that. And no. So you want to trust the companies that sell it. I know they sell it at Amazon. I know they sell it at Best Buy. I've got nothing against them. It's probably fine if you buy it. There's a good chance things may go well for you, but just in case, as somebody has the way of getting into that box, and I know it's pretty sealed up pretty well with all kinds of these funky stickers and all that, but somehow or another, if they're able to do it. So I would buy it always directly from the company that sells the cold storage wallets. That is one suggestion that I would have to you. Arculus, yes, buy it directly from Arculus. Ledger is based in France, exactly. And I want to say Trezor might be Turkey or something, or I forgot where it is, but yeah, they're overseas, but you need to buy it directly from the company. That's all I'm saying. Okay. The good thing about the Trezor, by the way, that I use, you could actually open your account on Exodus, and you can then, while you're waiting for your Trezor, you can cross over your stuff there. You got 12 words. You can, it's safe. Again, don't share those 12 words. Don't tell anybody those 12 words. Don't write it down. Don't put it anywhere on any digital platform or anything where it can be hacked. Keep that close to you, safe somewhere, away from fires, away from everything. Keep those 12 words. Make sure you memorize them. But you can at least move your stuff over to Exodus. You can stake some of your stuff, and then you can, once you get your Trezor Model T, you join it together. By the way, you get the more expensive Trezor. Okay, it has more coins. That's the other thing, by the way. Whatever coins you're investing in, make sure you're getting the wallet that you can store all those coins in. Not every wallet holds all the coins. So they may not have the bridges for you to unload and load those coins. And that's very important to also have that. Okay. How to grow promotion from my YouTube channel. I don't know how to do that, but you can have fun with that. That's it. I think we're done. An hour and a half. How about that? We gave you a 90-minute show today. Not bad. No commercial breaks, no nothing. You got to love it, man. Got to absolutely love it. All right. We thank Sean Stanley, of course, the man that masters this program every single day. We hope you all enjoyed the show. I hope maybe you learned something. If you have any questions, you can always DM me at Big O Show on Twitter. You can ask me any question you want there. I will not do a show till next week again because I am off to Mobile, Alabama on Monday night. I'll be in Mobile for the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday broadcast. I will probably do another crypto show maybe Saturday next week. And then after that, I might do one every couple of days or something like that to kind of keep you updated on what's going on. So this show will continue and will build on the Crypto Bro Show. Thank you all for tuning in. And if you want to make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show.
The Crypto Bro Show is solely for entertainment purposes. Orlando Alzugaray and his guests are not financial advisors or investments consultants. If you ever plan to invest, make sure you do your homework, talk to a professional, and understand investing is very risky and volatile. Good luck in any of your investments, and only invest what you're willing to lose.
Thank you for tuning into the Crypto Show, hosted by Orlando Alzugaray and mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. To catch up with other episodes, search and subscribe to the Big O Radio Show on most platforms, and follow Big O on Twitter at Big O Show.
The Crypto Bro Show is solely for entertainment purposes. Orlando Alzugaray and his guests are not financial advisors or investments consultants. If you ever plan to invest, make sure you do your homework, talk to a professional, and understand investing is very risky and volatile. Good luck in any of your investments, and only invest what you're willing to